At the edge of Chapada dos Ventos there was a village forgotten by time. The wattle and daub houses and windowless frames revealed the simplicity of its people. There lived old Mr. Chico, a widower known for his honesty, and his inseparable companion, a gray-coated donkey named Lampião. The name was ironic. Despite being named after a famous outlaw, the animal was gentle, silent, and ever watchful. Everyone knew. Wherever Mr. Chico went, Lampião followed with steady steps and eyes always on the horizon. Mr. Chico had raised Lampião since he was a foal. The donkey had been abandoned on a roadside, hungry and injured, but the old man took him in. He healed his wounds, shared his food, and gave him a home. From that moment on, they became inseparable. When life was hard, one consoled the other. It was a silent but profound friendship, the kind that needed no words. Lampião understood the old man's heart, and Mr. Chico saw in the donkey a companion more loyal than many men. One dry autumn morning, Mr. Chico prepared the cart to go to the market in the neighboring town. It was a long journey, nearly 20 kilometers, but he trusted Lampião to pull the cart with the few goods from his farm: cassava, eggs, cheese. He said goodbye to the neighbors with a calm smile, unaware that this trip would change everything. Though the sky was clear, a silent storm loomed on the horizon. The road was dirt, flanked by tall grass and loose stones. Near the cliffs of the Yao, Serra do Silêncio, a loud crack echoed. The cart's axle had broken. With the sun already low, Mr. Chico stepped down to check the damage. At that moment, he slipped on a loose rock and tumbled down the slope, vanishing into the underbrush. Lampião reared up, braying in alarm. The old man didn't respond. Night fell like a cold, dark cloak. Lampião stood still beside the broken cart. His eyes searched the brush where Mr. Chico had disappeared, but there was no sign of him. He let out occasional desperate brays. The moonlight shone on his dust-covered back, and even though he didn't fully understand what had happened, Lampião knew he had to act. He couldn't wait. Something inside told him the old man was in danger. Lampião sniffed the ground, trying to follow Mr. Chico's scent through the bushes, but it was difficult. The terrain was steep and treacherous. At last, he found the old man lying unconscious, his leg trapped between two rocks. His body was weak, his breathing shallow. The donkey tried to pull him with his snout, pushed with his body, but the weight was too much. Lampião understood he couldn't do it alone. He had to get help. And so, he began to walk. Lampião started his journey back to the village. The night was thick, the forest sounds eerie, but his steps were steady, even as hunger and exhaustion set in. Each kilometer, the scent of home pushed him forward. He crossed streams, climbed slopes, passed through valleys. What normally took hours with the cart, he now faced alone, driven by purpose and love. By morning, Lampião appeared at the village entrance. He was exhausted, his coat drenched in sweat, hooves bleeding. But he didn't stop. He walked through the streets as if he knew exactly where to go. The villagers were startled to see him alone, without the cart, without Mr. Chico. It was Dona Maria who realized something was wrong. "That donkey's asking for help," she cried. In minutes, the whole village was mobilized. Some grabbed tools, others mounted horses. Lampião led them like a rescue dog, sometimes pausing to sniff the ground before moving on with certainty. They followed the rugged trail the cart had taken. It took hours. When they reached the cliffside, they found the shattered cart and, just beyond, the old man lying among the rocks, pale-faced. A heavy silence fell. Everyone was torn between relief and shock. Mr. Chico was still breathing, but barely. He was dehydrated, his leg broken, his body scratched and weak. When he heard voices and felt careful hands touch him, he let out a faint groan. Lampião approached and pressed his snout gently against the man's face. A tear slid down the old man's cheek. He recognized that touch. It was his donkey, his friend, his savior. Mr. Chico was carried in a makeshift hammock as everyone looked at Lampião with awe. That animal was no ordinary creature. He was a hero. Back in the village, Mr. Chico received immediate care. Donna Maria, a sort of healer, treated his wounds. The following days were a battle. The old man drifted in and out of fever, calling for Lampião even in his sleep. The donkey, meanwhile, remained by the door, lying down, refusing to eat. He wanted no hay, no water, only to know if the man would live. Everyone understood. This was something stronger than words. True love. In time, Mr. Chico began to recover. Still frail, he asked to see Lampião. The neighbors helped him into a chair near the doorway. When the eyes of the man and donkey met, no words were needed. Silence said everything. Lampião approached slowly, resting his head on the old man's chest, and he embraced him with all the strength he had left. The village, moved, burst into tears and applause. The donkey was treated like royalty. He was given fresh food, his coat was brushed, and his hooves tended. The local government sent a city veterinarian, who examined Lampião and declared, "It's a miracle he made that journey alone with such accuracy and stamina. This animal is more than special." The story spread. Local newspapers published the tale. Soon, reporters and onlookers came to meet the donkey who had saved a man. A month later, the village organized a festival in Lampião's honor. There were banners, songs, and even a small parade where the donkey walked with flowers around his neck. Children tossed petals at his feet. A local artist painted a portrait of the moment Lampião touched Mr. Chico's face during the rescue. The image was hung in the school as a symbol of courage, loyalty, and friendship. Some people from the big city offered money to buy Lampião. They wanted to take him to events, exhibitions, TV shows, but Mr. Chico, though poor, refused them all. "He's not for sale, not for gold, not for fame. He's part of me." And the people respected that. They understood that some bonds aren't negotiable. They are treasures no contract can contain. Time passed. Mr. Chico, still recovering from his injury, slowly resumed his routines. But now, everything had changed. People treated him with admiration and care, and Lampião, was hailed as a legend. But he didn't care. He remained the same quiet donkey, walking beside his old friend with calm, faithful steps. All he wanted was to stay close to Mr. Chico. That was enough. One starry night, Mr. Chico called his neighbor, Tonho, and made a request. "If I'm ever gone, take care of Lampião, but not like any ordinary animal. Treat him like a son." Tonho, moved, promised. "But you'll live for many more years, sir." Mr. Chico smiled. "We never know. I just want to make sure he'll be loved. He gave me life. I want to give it back." Years later, Mr. Chico fell ill again. This time, age caught up with him. He passed away on a quiet morning while Lampião slept against the wall of his room. When the donkey woke and felt his friend's absence, he let out a cry like never before. The whole village heard it, a sound of grief, of mourning. At the wake, the donkey remained by the coffin the entire time. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. He just kept vigil in silence. Lampião went to live with Tonho as promised. He was well cared for, had shade, water, affection, but he was never the same. He walked slowly, eyes scanning the horizon as if searching for something. Sometimes, he would go to Mr. Chico's old house, sniff the door and sigh. Time passed. One day, he simply lay down in the backyard and never got up again. He died peacefully, as if deciding it was time to reunite with his friend. Today, in the center of the village of Esperanza Branca, there stands a simple statue, a man sitting on a broken cart, with a donkey by his side, lifting its snout as if calling. Below it, a small but eternal phrase is engraved. Loyalty is not measured by the size of footprints, but by the strength of the heart that leaves them behind. Lampião and Mr. Chico became legend, and those who pass by swear they feel the wind lighter, as if the two are still walking together beyond time.